What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Final Fantasy. It is about to be Christmas Eve for me at the time of recording, so Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy New Year. I imagine this episode will probably be out around New Year's, given the backlog I have. I think I'm still 10 episodes behind, so this will probably be out just after New Year by 2-a-day schedule, so Happy New Year. I hope you all had a great Christmas, and I hope the New Year is full of love, laughter, and happiness for all y'all. Now, all that being said, we have 3 side quests left to get to, where there's a will I'm very interested in, but I do want to get the other stuff in the background done first. So, trial and errors at Northreach. I suppose we'll go to Northreach first. Been back and forth to this place a lot with the dame, so we'll be getting onto all that. There is one piece of news that's worth knowing. Thanks to my wonderful girlfriend, I now have Black Myth Wukong. She got me a early Christmas present, so Black Myth Wukong will be on the channel for anybody who's interested in that game and likes that. We are certainly going to be getting to that because I've been excited about that game for a long time, so I'm looking forward to playing that. That'll be making an appearance on the channel very soon. I do need to also start my Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough though as soon as I get done with Final Fantasy. BG3 has been in the background for a long time now, so...
Do you have a moment, Clive?
Sure,
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed full control of the garrison and put every able-bodied man to work on the fortifications. The town was left all but unguarded, so Philippe was compelled to form a citizens' watch to fill the void. And though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, they want for bodies. So I was wondering if you would lend them your strength, that the people of Northreach might sleep easier, if only for a few nights.
I'm not really surprised that this is where this place went. And last time we were here, we talked about it a lot. It seemed like that was the general flow of things. If you have your finger on the pulse of Northreach, you could have seen that coming.
Of course. Whatever you need.
Thank you, Clive. What would I do without you? Philippe told
Be
me
overrun
he
by
had men
Akashic at this
stationed
point,
at-
likely.
Where can I find the mistress of this establishment?
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you and your town no small amount of trouble. I wish to speak to you about what might be done.
Oh.
Very well. Let us speak.
Your
I
daughter
trust you'll
undermining
forgive me,
the
Clive.
father, huh?
Absolutely. Our conversation can wait.
Please, proceed.
As you know, my father is a most overbearing and supercilious man, and I join you in objecting to his every action. Indeed, I owe you my thanks for continuing to argue against his reckless plans. Yet I fear he is not one to be swayed by reason. No. He must be made to face the consequences of his actions.
And who
Which would be?
would make him do this?
I would. Myself and several other like-minded individuals. Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to drive him from Northreach for good.
Does that not seem a trifle drastic?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. Unless you are content to see your people downtrodden and dispossessed.
I mean, what did he do
My
to
father
her,
would
though?
have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. That they should be forced to make every sacrifice to ensure her revival.
So what did
But
he
he
ask
is
you
wrong.
to sacrifice?
It is
Why do you
not
care
the
this
people who
much?
must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must serve her people.
I think that door actually opens both ways.
He's always been like this. Scornful of the opinions of anyone he judged beneath him. But he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk any longer.
She's given, he
We
doesn't
must
approve of
fight
my
him
partner kind of
by
vibe.
all possible means.
Fight him? No. My purpose is to quell the tension in Northreach, not to stoke it. Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of us uniting against our common enemy. Your father and his followers included. While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet be won round.
False hope, I assure you. But I see that your mind is made up. I shall bother you no longer. If you will extend me the same courtesy, I bid you good day.
Yeah, as much as I agree the Empire should serve her people,
certainly
the
has
people also
spirit.
do need to serve their Empire in the same way.
But unfortunately for us, that spirit is only likely to
Like,
harden
what good
with
is the
resolve.
Empire, what can the
Train
Empire
enough to
possibly
see
do
the
for its
fate of
people
this
if it doesn't
town.
get the work
Not that
and the
she
walls
cares.
and the money
This is all
to
about
fund the
her and her
army to
father.
protect the people and their borders and their homes and their
I'm
work?
sorry, where were we?
It definitely swings
Yes.
both ways.
I was about to tell you of Philippe's plans for the town watch, but perhaps it's better that you heard them from him.
There is obviously limitations,
I
like
believe he's
the
in the
Empire can't
market
just
if
turn
you'd be
everybody
so
into
kind as
slaves,
to seek him
essentially,
out.
but at the same time,
Right away.
the citizens also have to pull
Just
their
a
weight.
pity I cannot join
You can't have a
I'd like to
governing
see a
body
little
that
of you
does
in
all the
action
work while
together.
the citizens do nothing. That's not, it would collapse. I mean, look at how many empires have collapsed in history because of that, so. You can't have a situation like Spartans where they literally can't do any of their own work, and so when their slave class rebels, it all crumbles. You can't have a situation like that. But they still need to help out to some degree. There's got to be bustling markets and bustling industry and an economy.
What does the dame have to say about
There also has to be culture and morale and freedom and art,
So you're
all those
content to
things.
abandon the people
Fine
to their
balance.
fates?
So she's
Please,
making the rounds,
I beseech you. If you're a true son of Northreach, you must fight to defend your home.
What did her father do to
That's
her? Did
exactly
he take
what I
like her
am
favorite toy
doing,
away or
lady.
something? She gives such
Besides
bratty
this,
backstab
The
vibes.
land is crawling with fiends, and someone has to keep watch.
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garrison.
Yeah, see, like I
Fine.
don't believe her.
You're not the only able-bodied man in Northreach. Thank
You
you
have
so much
ulterior
for your
motives.
help.
When he's ousted, do you plan on to step into the shoes? She gives way
cornered you
too
too, then?
noble vibes to be
Hardly
trusted.
get a word in edgeways. Like father, like daughter, eh?
She made an uninvited appearance at the Vale earlier, hoping to convince the Dame to join her in fomenting rebellion.
I bet that went well. Her ladyship seems to have a way with people. Anyway, what brings you here?
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some help.
Oh, she did she? Right as always. In fact, you're just the man. We've had some reports, you see. Sightings of, you know what.
You point, I'll shoot.
Back.
Seems that way. All over, too. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but if you're willing, you could go and see what's what.
Right. Where should I look?
You know Grieger's Weep? One of the sightings places them somewhere on its shores.
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the other sightings. Let's rendezvous back here later.
Ooh, watch yourself. Akashic ain't easy to deal with. As much as he seems like a good sword, Akashic have magic. They're boosted by magic, so... Plus, if he steps into an ether flood, it doesn't matter how good he is with his blade, he'll just turn Akashic too.
I'm nervous. Well met, Sid. This is the initiate. Ember, present yourself. At your service, Master.
This is the scout
Just
potential,
Sid.
I believe, right?
There are no masters here. Your life is your own.
Gab's potential apprentice.
Of course. Thank you, Sid. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the dangers inherent in that role.
I am. But I swore I'd face them. Just like the man who saved my life.
And who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me.
I'm not
No magic.
surprised.
No support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed me out. It taught me what one man can do if he puts his mind to it. And I've been training ever since, so that one day I can be someone's saviour, just like Gav was mine.
I'm sure he'd be flattered. You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions. Stick to this path and you'll make a fine curse breaker.
So, what? Have I passed?
Hardly.
You haven't even started yet. Now listen.
You know, every time I hear something
Not
about
far
one
from
man
here
doing
is an
something,
Imperial lookout.
it always reminds me of my favorite quote
The
from
guards
Dragon
there
Age,
record all their sightings in a logbook.
which is
You are to
not
find
in my
it
favorite Dragon Age game. It's in my
and
least
bring it
favorite Dragon
here.
Age game, actually, which is Inquisition.
Bring it here, right. Anything
Somebody
else?
asks a Grey Warden what
Sneaking
one
into a
Grey
heavily
Warden is
guarded
capable
Imperial
of alone,
outpost and stealing
and the
logbook
response
would be
is
quite
save the fucking world if
You
pressed.
need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape.
Sure, one
all
person
without
can make a
being
lot of a
discovered
difference.
And thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
Well, he has a base level of respect because he had his brand removed from his face, and we know how dangerous and painful that can be.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same, would you?
On my way.
Yeah, everybody that has that little mark on their face from getting that removed deserves a certain amount of respect. We did that side quest that showed how painful it is. There's literally deadly venom in the skin, and if they break the sac, it goes into your bloodstream and kills you. There's an inherent risk involved in gaining that level of freedom.
Damn it. The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town.
This is where we get the mages first. I just didn't see him. Yeah, the curse breakers are actually all cool because none of them are special like Clive. They're all just regular people. They have a little bit of the crystal's gift, but they're not icons.
Call that a test, Ultima?
I don't think you should have said that.
It's me.
You all right?
I am. But it seems the reports were true. The thralls have returned. I dispatched the few that I found, though.
Well, that's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? They all came from the north last time. We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other, but from both?
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should probably go and have a look, though, just to be sure. You head back to Northreach. I want you there just in case war breaks out while I'm away.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic on the townspeople, stirring up ill feeling towards her father. She'll have her marching on the barracks if we're not careful.
What? This is exactly what the Dane was afraid of. I'll do what I can to calm things down. Be careful out there, all right?
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things and I'm running back to town screaming blue murder.
Smart man. Could not deal with that stuff alone.
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. But now she teeters on the brink.
I really don't want her to make me
Without
defend
their
him.
sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes?
No.
No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. a new empire. We can rebuild Sandbreck, just as Great Grieger wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people. Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore. You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy.
Actually, she's been trying to get your daughter to relax.
Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Branded.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Grieger.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order.
Something tells me they don't want to abandon their home.
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together, for Northreach!
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
The daughter just gave like spoiled brat vibes.
But she is but a common...
I don't like this guy, but he was right about the
yes.
sword and shield.
And we'd follow her to the gates of hell.
Like what the daughter was saying is nonsense. What the dame was saying is true enough. It's real enough. But the daughter is nonsense. They were all cooked without the Empire soldiers. What's the blacksmith gonna do? Swing a little hammer at an Akashic? You need
The men
soldiers to
had their
defend
orders,
yourself.
And they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone there to...
Kind of what I was saying about give and
Thank
take.
you
How
for
the
me.
door opens both ways.
Rest assured the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of medicines to me. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale. We'll see to them there.
Thank you, milady. I will.
I'll play my part too.
The governing body has to do things for the citizens, and the citizens have to do things for the governing
I
body.
only hope I can go some way to evening
It only
the
becomes
odds.
a problem when that becomes imbalanced.
Can I leave the south in your hands?
It's a problem if the government does too
I
much
doubt
for
the
the
falls by the
people,
lake with the
and it's
last
a
of
problem
their
if the
number.
people do too much or too little
Lead a
for
party down that way
the
so we don't
government.
get taken by surprise. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I fought a few of these things. And while I can't promise to hold them all back, I should be able to thin the herd.
I think the give and take of both sides should be kept minimal,
Thank you.
and for the most
Both of
part,
you.
people should be allowed to do whatever they want to do.
Thank us when it's over.
But of course, there's always
Till
going to be
then, madame.
responsibilities. And those responsibilities are always going to be raised in times like this. Like, of course they have more responsibilities.
We can take refuge in the barracks.
They're in the middle of a war. It would be weird if they didn't have more responsibilities. That would just be them leaving this whole thing to rot. Which is obviously not an option. So. And now we leave these people here and we're gonna ride out to deal with this problem. But if we weren't here, then the pompous asshole guy that called the dame a common whore, I mean, he would be the last line of defense, because let's be real. The little noble woman that's like being petty and trying to stick a knife in her father for some spat 20 years ago. She isn't defending Northreach. If anything, she looked concerned when the people actually looked like they were roused. I actually want to see something real fast with this. Let's see how much of this whole little horde I can clear with one of these. Well, that just one-shot everything on my screen, so...
It's only just begun.
Effective, I'd say. No, he won't be doing that either way. Level 48 and getting up there.
That looks to be the last of them.
No.
I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
I mean, the obvious solution here is for the Dame to lead, because she has the loyalty of the soldiers and the people. So that's just going to be the best
Is clear. How did you and your men fare?
synergy between all this.
We ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right. And I was wrong. About everything.
There was little
I
bits
had
of
thought
truth
that
in there,
the
but you were
The
misguided.
only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire. That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. By knowing what they feel, because you feel it yourself.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory, while our eyes beheld matters closer to home.
You have the right of it again. As did you, Sabine.
No, the daughter
Radiant
definitely
said it
didn't.
himself. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. I forgot that. And I am sorry.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far.
Yeah, you two need to go
I
have
wanted
like
you to
family
understand
therapy
how the
or some
people
shit.
felt. How I felt.
It's definitely more about you, let's be real.
But my anger got the better of
You
me.
didn't care much for
Do not blame
Northreach.
yourself, my dear. This was my doing. I should have listened to you. To all of you.
Your Eminence, Your Ladyship, I do not doubt that you came here with the best of intentions, but I believe the same could be said of us all. We all want safety, security, prosperity, not just for Northreach, but for the entire realm. And we may yet achieve it. If only we work together. Will you join us in this?
Yes. We shall.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. The Vale's doors are always open to any soldier in need of relief. And today there are more than ever before.
I think I touched on the whatever his name is. What is he, like a priest? He seems like he's a priest or eminence, I
Madam
guess.
Isabel is a
But I think I
rare
touched
soul
on his opinion
indeed.
the first time we dealt with him, and it makes
These
sense.
Dark times, I see.
He's born and raised in an
Not
empire.
men like
They were one of
me
the main
who should
forces in the
lead
world.
realm. But women like her.
You're right. If only I'd listened to her when I
They had
the
safety,
chance.
security, and borders.
Forgive
Like,
me for saying
whatever
so,
they do
but
against the bearers, they
You
still...
still do. The Dame said it herself.
You know, the cities and the populations, they were
We just
flourishing
have to work together.
under the Emperor.
And that goes for you, too.
They had how many
One of
years
us
of
now.
peace before they had to start expanding
you.
because of the Blight, so...
Well said, Captain.
And what he was saying about
Let
this
be a
place,
new
Northreach,
beginning,
being cooked without the
not only
soldiers,
for
like the
Sanbreque,
sword and shield of the Empire.
but for us.
It doesn't have to be the Empire that provides the sword and shield, but they do need one.
Since there's nothing more to be done here,
Everywhere needs a sword and
I
a
should
shield.
see if Isabel needs any help moving the wounded.
Any place that doesn't have a border and a sword and a shield and a way to defend is not safe. You might be safe in a time of peace, but times of peace don't last. So, he wasn't completely wrong. He's just misguided in his efforts. She was just being petty, the daughter. But again, the Dame is the correct choice for this place, because she has everybody's allegiance. The blacksmiths and the merchants, they all like her. And the soldiers, and the generals, and the archers, they all like her. So she's just the natural choice. She doesn't seem to be too bad at leading either. She doesn't seem to have too many weaknesses where she'll fold or capitulate to outside forces. So she's just a good choice for this place. I think that's the right decision ultimately for Northreach. The noble daughter, whatever her name was, that would have been the wrong choice. Sabine. Yeah, Sabine is not running for mayor in 2025.
How goes the treatment of the wounded? I'll be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help.
You've helped quite enough for one day, Clive. Thank you.
Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must. After all you've done for this town.
We got a little bit of a
very
law dump on
least
her.
you
It seems like she was ousted from Sanbreque for sleeping
me.
with a bearer.
If Northreach had fallen, what would you have done? A woman of your means could find a home anywhere in the realm, but I sense you would rather have died here.
It's a long story.
For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Very well. Long ago, I had a life in the crystalline dominion. I was Carla then, courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my time. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard, the gentlest man I have ever known. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving, half dreading, half praying that the next day would be our last. Until we found ourselves here, in Northreach. It was the veil that took us in, that fed us, clothed us, and healed our hurts. Those that could be healed, at least. My love was already too far gone.
And how did you end up running this fine establishment?
He did. Not long after we arrived. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace before the end. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief. Shared in it, though I was still a stranger to them. They treated me like a sister. And so I swore that I would always do the same. That I would return the kindness that Northreach showed me. That I would repay my debt to the Vale.
That is a very noble goal. I believe that too, that she would have died here.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
I don't think she would cut and run. I think she means it when she says she'd ride the train down to zero.
You're a lot like him, you know. Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive. And I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. Just look at us now. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter, all united in defense of this town that we have come to call our home. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Always.
We have bled for Northreach. Somehow we've done more for Northreach than we've... Oh hell yeah, we got our Calcum for that. Now we just need one Dark Steel, I believe, and we're good. We done more for Northreach somehow than we've done for Eastpool, and Eastpool is way more near and dear to us. Not that it's a bad thing though, I'm okay with that, I'm surprised. That's Eastwatch. The best way to hop there would be to go from the Dragon's Eyrie. And we'll just hop at Ambrosia and skate on down. I'm guessing since we got our Calcum from that.
Ready, go?
That is the end of that quest line. There's a giant Akashic curl right there. Are you a hunt? Or are you just what you are? Okay, you're just what you are. I don't feel the need to fight that if it's not a hunt. And this is where we fought all those Garuda clones. I remember this place. Yeah,
Clean kills.
I came up here a while ago.
That really is ready.
I came up here during the Garuda thing, but this was closed. We couldn't come in.
Or maybe not.
Hey Clive, give him a chance to practice.
Damn it. Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
Then run! If you want him, you'll have to go through me.
Avis just had a real bad day.
It's over.
Yeah, real bad. No dinner for you.
Ember, are you... Gone. Of course. Scouts really are a rare breed. Back to Northreach it is then.
I mean, if he has a nose for getting in and out of trouble, that's useful in and of itself. Because being a scout isn't about fighting dragons, it's about being in the shadows and not having to fight dragons, right? He's supposed to sneak around and look, he's not supposed to engage. So the fact that he can just skate out into the shadows without us realizing is a pretty good starting point. With some practice and definitely some combat training in case he does need to fight when he's behind enemy lines. I think he could be a good scout.
Said they take another 100.
He has part of it down.
I didn't expect you back so soon. Where is Ember? How did he fare?
I thought I'd find him with you. He must have fled. I followed him to Eastwatch, where I found him being set upon by a wild Avis. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. I had to step in and take care of things. But by the time I had, he was nowhere to be seen. I assumed he'd set off in your direction, but apparently not.
I'm sorry, Sid. I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but he seemed like...
The right man for the job? I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
Eh? How did you... Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you then, his heir. And he did it all on his own.
But Sid, he
did what he thought was best. And now I have to decide whether I agree.
Of course. We'll await your evaluation back at the hideaway. Don't you leave my sight.
I mean, look, he needs a little bit of practice. He needs some training. He shouldn't be freezing in combat, but the rest of it is good as far as I'm concerned.
This won't be an easy decision.
He has the makings of a great scout. He just needs some tempering, but what doesn't, you know? Gates of Randala. Where's Randala? That'd be in Dalmekia. Dalimil? I'm not even sure where it would be. I don't want to start where there's a will, and where there's a will is in Tabor, I believe, because we gotta talk to Cyril, so it's one of these two. Let's try Dalimil. Yeah, I think with some practice and the right kind of guidance, and less nervous energy in combat, I think he could be a really good scout. He has the sneaky part down, he just needs to be...
take the bearer's side.
Well, for lack of a better word, he just needs to be less of a pussy. What's going on, Lubo?
Here to help me pack? Thanks, but I'll be traveling light. I'm almost finished already, in fact.
You're really going to go through with this then?
I am. But before I go, there is one small issue I'd like your assistance with. Well, two, in fact.
If it's within my power to help you, I will.
It's the children. I refuse to let them share in my disgrace. And if I leave them here, they surely will. Our friendship would see them ostracized forever. But I can't take them with me either. I can think of only one place where they are certain to be safe, and provided for, and loved. The hideaway.
Makes sense to me.
The children will be more than welcome.
Thank you, Clive. I will not forget this.
Lubor, are you still here?
What is it, Ferda? You look pale.
There's been a flood in the Velcroy, a damn big one. The League of Outlaws encampment was completely submerged in ether.
What?
Every last one of the bastards has turned, and they're headed this way.
Bandits are one thing.
But Akashic Bandits are quite another. The town guard won't stand a chance against them. We need to evacuate. There's no time to lose. Further, gather the men. The Akashic may strike at any moment. We must make ready to cover the townspeople's escape.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Yes, my lord.
Again, this place would be cooked without him.
The children stay with me for now. I need you to find Conrad and Natalie. Tell them to prepare for a full...
They're ousting this dude because he has a gift of the crystal, but where would they be right now without him?
I can to convince everyone else.
I mean, without him the first time, they would have been dead to bandits already. Now they would be dead to Akashic Bandits. I'm sure we'll see a change of heart when he saves their ass again.
Listen to me. They're coming.
Why do they always have to make
Crazy how people don't slap the hand away when they actually need to grab it.
Snake spitting.
Ah, it's you.
What do you want, Lord Underhill?
To pass on an important message. There's been an ether flood out in the Velcroy. The camp where the so-called League of Outlaws were gathering has been swallowed. They're no longer just bandits. They're Akashic now, and they could be here at any moment. You need to begin preparing for a full-scale evacuation right away.
Oh, do we? And who was it who gave you this disturbing news, might I ask?
Oh, cut the shit.
Lubor, perhaps? The man spreading the same poison out in the square as we speak.
Okay, so we can just throw his ass out.
Lies, my lord.
Go ahead.
We know better.
Go fight the Akashic
Why
then.
would he lie about something like this?
Some twisted attempt at revenge, perhaps. If he had not been unmasked, he may well have been elected our leader.
Let's just hand him a sword then.
Honor
Off
for
you
one
go.
of his kind. One he might well feel aggrieved at having been denied.
Lord Underhill, forgive me, but it has become all too evident where your sympathies lie. Lubor cannot be trusted, and neither, therefore...
You are lucky that I am not
You may
like
not trust
you.
me, but for the sake of your people, ask yourselves if there is any
Because
chance...
if I was like them, I would just walk away from this place and let it be
You
slaughtered.
can be certain of that.
But I'm not. So.
Now be off with you.
Although his ass, what is his name? Nathaniel? I'll happily give him a sword and
making a
kick him out the
mistake.
gates. Go look for yourself.
Come, Clive. If our words will not move them, then we must find another way to help save the town.
You're right.
Swords.
Let's speak to Lord Furder.
I think we'd better shut up.
What's Lubor raving about now?
He's been here for most of his life, and they don't trust a word or a warning.
Lord Furder,
Sid, what's wrong?
I went to warn Conrad and Natalie about the Akashic, but they wouldn't listen.
Conrad
They've
is his
convinced
name.
themselves that nothing Lubor says can be trusted. The bloody fools. Which means the town guard can't be counted on for support. But I can. If there's anything I can do to help you defend Dalimil, you only have to ask.
I appreciate it.
Sid! Further! I've been looking for you everywhere.
Victor, I thought you'd left.
I couldn't abandon a friend in need.
Oh, how touching.
Lubor is in need at this very moment. Come quickly.
Wasn't he part of the problem on the last quest?
You have to believe me. The Akashic are coming. They don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't tire, and they don't care who they kill. They're unlike anything that's come before. There won't be no parley, no mercy granted. We may have saved the town once, but this is different. I do not ask that you forgive me, but please believe me. If you do not run, you will die. You will all fucking die!
You'd like that, wouldn't you, bearer?
Yeah, with us out of the way, your kind will be free to claim Dalimil for yourselves.
You should run!
Run, bearer!
Yeah, run!
Run!
Far away!
Run!
Just go!
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes!
Come on, then.
Fuck 'em.
Just go. Just go.
Take the children and the people who aren't ignorant fools,
Someone's coming.
and leave the rest to rot in their own shit like they want.
Stop! You're hurting him! What did Lubor ever do to you? He solves all your stupid problems, and he keeps all of you safe. You know there's nothing he wouldn't do for this town. Who was it who made that cleaver you use every day, Conrad? And what about your counting table, Natalie? Who fixed that? Whose men make sure the streets are clean so all your boots don't get dirty? Who spends all day every day making sure things run smoothly round here?
From the mouths of babes.
Ever say thank you? Ever? But did Lubor ever complain? Well, does he ever stop smiling? He keeps this whole place going! And you act like it doesn't even exist!
Lubor, we've heard enough.
Wait!
We will not run. The town guard will not abandon the very place it is sworn to protect.
And I will not give up for lost the stores that we labored so hard to fill.
So tell us, how do you propose we deal with these Akashic of yours?
We won't run, but we will fight.
All right, then. Fine.
Gather round if you don't want to die.
Kids often see the simplest truth. They don't have all the ego and wrapped up bullshit that the adults do. Personally,
Allow me to explain the situation.
I would just let some of these
The
people
ether flood
fucking
occurred near the village of Cheratina, deep
rot.
in
I gotta be
Northreach.
real. Like, I'm a
The place had been
hero
abandoned
in the
for
game,
years,
but
until the
if they're gonna
village
pelt me with
authorities
rocks
decided
and
to make
want
it
to
their base of
die,
operations. Now
let's
they're
say
all
what you
returned,
can.
and if the scouts' reports are correct, heading in this direction.
You can't say people who don't want to be saved.
They are mindless monsters, driven only by hate and rage.
They only stopped there because they were hurting the kids. They didn't give a shit about him.
Bandits, we at least knew how and where they were likely to attack. When these creatures come, Dalimil will have the bitterest
It was the
fight it
kids
has
that
ever
moved them
faced
to
in its
relax,
hands.
not Lubor or
The
anything he
town
was
guard
saying or
will
what he's
muster at the
done.
north gate. The rest of us will take the south. Both forces will provide men to serve as scouts and messengers.
A matter of
ready to
time before they
spread
start
word of the
spitting at
size
him
and
again.
nature of the Akashic force as soon as it is spotted. And as soon as it has been, we will converge on its position and see that it is driven back from Dalimil at all costs. Conrad, can I count on the support of the town guard?
Always.
Yeah.
I leave the selection and
What a hero,
coordination
huh?
of the messengers in your hands, Victor. And the command of our men in yours, Ferda. If you would both be so kind.
Consider it done.
As you wish.
Natalie, I would ask that you and your people have the townsfolk barricade themselves inside the bathhouse.
And tell the merchant not to waste time securing anything beside the essentials. Preserving life is our one and only concern. As long as we survive, it doesn't matter what trinkets we might lose. Our riches can be regained. And if anyone doubts that, let it be known that the Briar's Kiss stands ready to cover any losses.
Very well. I shall tell them.
Where do I fit into this plan?
Where else but the most perilous place of all? I would like you to travel to the home of our erstwhile League of Outlaws, Cheratina itself. The main host is most likely still there, and Dalimil will not be safe until it is eradicated, root and branch.
A little gardening. How pleasant.
I doubt it. I have a feeling these weeds will be particularly stubborn.
Little late for trimming the verge.
So you are.
All right then, we all know what we have to do. Now it's simply a matter of doing it. For Dalimil.
Looks like everyone's ready. I'd better not keep them waiting.
Alright, now I assume. Yeah, there it is. We can just fast travel here and turn left. Gonna run all the way across the Velcro for it. It's just up here. We've cleared this place before too, it just wasn't flooded the last time we came.
There it is. The flood.
But what's waiting for us inside?
I don't want to leave the welcome wagon lonely, would I? Thank you, Joshua. The concept and mechanics of ether floods are quite cool. I like that.
Single one alive.
It's not just a simple vanilla enemy. Your own people can be turned against you at literally any moment, and there's nothing you can do once it happens. Once someone becomes Akashic, it's over. There's no cure. The only cure for being Akashic is death. And it just pops up anywhere. It's like the ultimate enemy. The only people who have any resistance to that are bearers and Eikons. And I think even bearers succumb to it. Just have more of a resistance than people who have no acuity with crystals at all. I wonder if there's an ability to buff the Zantetsuken damage. Maybe there's a medallion. There's been a lot of damage medallions for abilities, so it wouldn't surprise me. I'd like to
The
buff
League
that.
is disbanded. I should get back to Dalimil and see how the others fared.
It's super satisfying to use, so if I can crank that up, I'm cranking that up. The fact that I can screen clear a whole Akashic horde with one of those is crazy. Alright, let's see if we made these people see some sense. X to
All the
Dow.
Akashic we were able to find have been dealt with. Seems that might be the last of them.
Last of them here, perhaps.
Lubo, Sir Clive has returned.
Clive! What news from Charatina?
It's done. Root and branch.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Thank you, my lord.
Friends, the Horde has been driven back. The Akashic have been defeated. And we need not fear the arrival of any more, thanks to Clive. Victory is ours.
We bloody did it!
We saved Dalimil.
Did we finally drop the Lord on the Hill thing?
Allow me to apologize. After
At the
all
very
you have
least.
done for this town, we should never have doubted you.
You think?
But we did. And for that we are truly sorry. We only hope that you can forgive us.
We need you, Lubor. Dalimil needs you. So, if you would still like to be considered for the position of mayor, you have our backing.
You do remember that I'm a bearer, don't you?
We do. But that is not a stain on your character.
At least
It
not
is a
anymore.
stain on ours. We thought only of what we perceived bearers to be, not what you truly are. The man who saved Dalimil twice over.
I see. But I will only accept your proposal on 2 conditions.
Name them.
Firstly, that you will both do everything in your power to rally your people to my cause. If the Town Guard and the Merchants League do not accept my leadership, it will be doomed from the start. Unity is the key to defending Dalimil, and I do not doubt that we shall need to call on our combined strength again. When that time comes, I will expect us all to pull together, just as we did today.
Of course. You have our word.
And secondly, you will accept that if I am to lead you, the mistreatment of bearers must end here in Dalimil. Any bearer within our walls shall be afforded the same rights as any other citizen. They will not be judged by what they are, but who they are.
See how amenable to that wisdom they are.
As we failed to do, and came so close to losing everything.
We agree to your conditions. And we have only one in return. That you continue to work for the good of Dalimil, as you always have.
Condition accepted.
Well, good news. You don't have to
My
move.
mayorship is all but confirmed. Do I get some sort of special hat?
Maybe one that has more rock resistance.
How fickle fate can be. Not so long ago, I had resigned myself to leaving Dalimil in disgrace. And now, I find myself her leader. Here. For everything.
Lubo. About the children.
Fear not, you are of course relieved of your responsibility. I would sooner face another horde of Akashic than see them brought up as outlaws. I'll make sure they're safe here.
I don't doubt that you will. And not just the children, but everyone in Dalimil.
I'll do my best.
of that I
All
have
your
not done.
hard work going to waste.
Well, if you're even an Akashic Horde butchered, let me know. You know my mail address. There's Kiss Signboard and Impulse buff. Now I know this one has been running for a pretty long time, but before we wrap, I do want to go back to the hideaway, deal with our Cursebreaker scout situation. I want to see how that ends up before we wrap this. So go back and talk to the one guy. It even sounded like we might be having to make a decision about him.
You should have seen him. The thing...
Welcome back, Sid.
Welcome back, Sid.
Yes. Welcome back. Trip wasn't too much of a pain in the arse, I hope. Truth be told, it was me who suggested roping you in to help with the trial. But from what I hear, things didn't go quite as planned.
No, they most certainly did not.
Does Ember deserve passing marks? Here's the thing, if I say no, he gets no training, and what is he gonna do? He can't fight for the Cursebreakers, but he wants to pay back the debt that Gav gave him. And he can move. I mean, he got to the tower, he got through the wolves and all the other stuff, he just froze on the dragon. But you can take training about that. He can get combat training from other Cursebreakers and more time in the field. The important part of the skill set that he showed is that he can be sneaky. While we were busy doing what we were doing, he snuck away from us and he got in the tower, he got the logbook, and he got back without getting injured. There's potential there, and you have to water potential. Natural talent isn't always where it needs to be to do the job, but there's a spark there, so...
Ember lost his nerve in the face of a beast of prey, but he didn't lose heart. He pressed on, and he achieved his aim. And is that not what we ask of our scouts?
Indeed it is. Thank you for your honest appraisal, Sid. The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle-hardened warrior on hand to pluck him from the jaws of peril. All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back, Ember is little more than a liability.
Wait, Sergeant. Ember still has much to learn, it's true. And this time he was found wanting. But I'd say he's due a second chance, nonetheless. After all, he did do as you asked.
Give him some combat training.
Any hand can be made to hold a blade, and any mind can conquer its fears.
Correct.
But a scout's nose is different. You've either got one, or you ain't. And by sniffing out that log, young Ember here has shown he has a conch and a half.
Exactly.
Wouldn't do to waste it now, would it?
Fine. One more chance.
I'll do whatever you ask. I'll spend my days and nights in the pit if I have to. I'll show you. Just you wait.
Like I said, the spark of potential is there. You don't water it, it just goes to waste. What else is he gonna do?
But his heart's in the right place. Just like someone else we know. And if you ask me, we've been leaning on him for far too long. That time the Cursebreakers took some of the weight off his shoulders, I reckon.
It couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't have him thinking he's been hard done by.
He might ask for a raise.
Next thing you know, he'll be asking for a day off. Chance would be a fine thing. Back to work.
Forgive me, Sid. This did not play out as I expected.
Things really do these days. But that's why we need men like Ember more than ever. Men who can make the best out of a bad situation. Remember that.
I will, Sid. Thank you.
Alright. Well, we got a new scout in the mix. I don't know if we'll be getting any follow-up quests on that, but I would be curious to see where that all ends up going for him. I think as long as he can live long enough to get things done, I think he'll be alright. We have new hunts for next time. That's what I'm seeing. We sure do. We have 3 new hunts. We have Knight of the Splendent Heart, the Grim Reaper, and the Wailing Banshee. Alright. We'll take care of all that on another time, though. We don't have time for this. Alrighty, guys. That is going to be a wrap for this episode. So, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, as always, there is a tip link in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you soon with more Final Fantasy. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.